This section is to establish the metal chip soft wiring, event-based neural network, and end with hierarchical addressing for routing event packets between the core circuits. And also to establish the silicon oxide using the Raytheon as a example of optically activated array utilizing photonic integrated circuits as a discussion point, or PICS. The legal questions that will be examined under question 2, section 4.4 is, what is the neuromorphic system of metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor or MOSFET? And what is the metal chip soft wiring? What is event-based neural network, and how does the optically activated array utilizing photonic integrated circuits work? So under the MOSFET, metal oxide, and metal chip soft wiring legal exhibit of the metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, or MOSFET for short, or the field programmable gate array, or FPGA for short, neuromorphic system, and also the establishment of a metal chip soft wiring, legal confirmation of a metal chip soft wiring metal oxide chip, meta-core circuitry, neural network, NN, and neuromorphic system, using the IBM pattern neuromorphic system, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, or MOSFET for short, and metal chip soft wiring, using the IBM model on neuromorphic system, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, MOSFET, or field programmable gate array, FPGA, event-based neural network, NN, with hierarchical addressing for routing event packets between core circuits of the neural network. The final legal answer is establishment of a silicon neuron or neural core transistor MOSFET. Using the Dr. Nissen's submission of the medical evidence can be seen here. It is a metallic fabric in liquid form, injectables, drying out on microscopic. It is a perfect match with the IBM pattern of a metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, or MOSFET for short, and it is also a metal chip soft wiring establishment legally. The IBM pattern event-based neural network with hierarchical addressing for routing event packets between core circuits of the neural network NN in Figure 3 shows the utilization of a neuromorphic synaptronic threshold-based computation integration with memory. You can see here that the software metal chip has axons and axon addresses with coordinates. The legal opinion analysis of the metal oxide field effect transistor, or MOSFET for short. The neuron's material change, it clearly wrote in line 2 comprises of, quote, complementary metal oxide semiconductor, or CMOS, logic gates which receive and generate neuronal firing events by comparator circuits based on neuronal activation. This complementary metal oxide semiconductor, or CMOS, is MOSFET, short for metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, documented use for, first, RBM visual digits recognition, 2, Vanderbilt space ferroelectric field effect transistor modulation, 3, graphene oxide bioweapon tool covax injector. See also IBM MOSFETs. This is legal confirmation of metal oxide soft wiring. There's further confirmation as stated in this pattern that soft wiring in core circuit 10. So this means that the chip injected in liquid form solidified in bioweapon tool covax are implemented using address events, or address events representation, AER for short. As a side note, this short term obviously sounds very similar to VERSE, or Adverse Events Reporting Platform, of the death statistics arising from the same said bioweapon tool covax soft wiring injected. Technically speaking, this injected solidified chip is capable as transmitters of transmitting body cells data directly to VERSE platform, even after death, such as cessation of heartbeat pulse and biometric data. Silicon oxide, the legal exhibit, laser radiative patches with micro lens array of silicon dioxide using the Raytheon pattern light-emitting diode criminal-purpose silicon oxide. The Raytheon model, silicon oxide optically activated array utilizing photonic integrated circuits, or PICs for short. The legal analysis. In the Raytheon pattern optically activated array utilizing photonic integrated circuits, it explains that it contains a plurality of antenna elements having an electrical socket or port, including a first laser configured to produce laser light of first wavelength, second, a first radiative patch connected to electrical port and connected by optical connection to the laser. Next, the first radiative patch including semiconductor material configured to be conductive when illuminated by light having the first wavelength and non-conductive when not illuminated. Third, the first radiative patch when conductive convert the electrical signal received at the electrical port to radiated electromagnetic waves, or to convert the received electromagnetic waves to an electrical signal at the electrical port. This sounds like the criminal mechanics behind bioweapon tool Kovacs circuitry tree. In comparison with Dr. Marty J's LED, American batch converts electric signal received at electrical port to radiated electromagnetic waves and vice versa. Here's another legal exhibit to illustrate the laser radiative patches with microlens array of silicon dioxide, which is also copied in, for example, companies like Vice Plaza logo, and also it could have some connection in addition to stealing line land company on large scale, robbing line land, debt not paid. We have to connect to PSLT dollar, land ATM, manual cash, and large scale diffusion. It can possibly have some connection, for example, with the offshore oil drilling Vice company. It is to be further looked into and examined legally. It is stated clearly that the microlens array include, as this is a Phoenix Star Zone PS and not HS or any other, it is a specific spot called PS Ltd, which is also the star printed by God, predestination as outer space direction clarification confirmation. Here it is clearly stated that microlens array includes a major component, silicon dioxide. It is stated that the optically activated photonic integrated circuits is connected to a plurality of laser drive circuits, vertical cavity surface emitting laser. Second, a transmit TX that receive RX molecules and RF signals of antenna elements, and third, of radiative patches and includes 4 microlens of silicon dioxide. As the explanation behind this design of laser radiative patches with microlens array of silicon dioxide also based on certain groups of student companies that were blind land. The legal analysis is that photon is at an atomic level for ID and other criminal purpose, perhaps holographic beam for teleportation, possibility by the perp ID. The observation is that the company also situation in Marina Bay, which is a fabricated location name, it is illegal buildings, require LTD weapons on the ground, questionable containers, and worker storm and a standard brochure that is stealing secondhand land of my land. Acceleration rate of 1960s by illegal persons. It is Phoenix Star Zone and offshore, and also land specific spot. Usurpation by self-titled imposter. They paste SG on themselves, they rob the land and they rob the identity of land inhabitants, and they force them into worker storm, and they build a standard for themselves to live in, which requires eviction at this point 2026, and also large scale land diffusion for the combined degree plan of the dupe inhabitants that is not a Gulf HDB condo apartments, common chip pipe. It's not the definition of the LTD dollar correct layout postal materials. It is an old region, ancient region in the whole entire region of Malaysia, and Nisimiya is the heaven and earth Ya, and it's not to be confused with the illegal access to ports by SIA, which is the ending of the full term Malaysia. It is not in my opinion. It is a separate term that changed the context. and they spread out into line land and rock line land. They can return the bank employee buildings with the brochures for 1905-2026 and the student companies co-ops from other regions and locations, and also put PSLT dollar ATM manual, landed not paid ATM manual in capital malls and radio frequency mall center HKSE, and also the Ruby SPIS for correct land register at this point, and these are not passports into land. So they have a murder charge for stealing land, landed not paid, second genocide, third as organs, colossal, that is combined equivalent, and also a requirement of the return of the student companies and bank employees buildings and Marina Bay buildings with underground weapons by LTD, and also per grid, and also the cement plots HAP. So to share a logo that's similar, they may or may not have knowledge of silicon oxide in COVAX. This is an illustration only. It could have an alternate meaning that the business owner adopted, such as good luck for business, etc.